From Daily Trust News Center, this is News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, murder of Nigerian woman by her Chinese lover ignites anger in Kano. Military fighter jets bomb bandits camp in Zamfara as police arrest informants. Building collapse kills 1, injures 6 in Jigawa State. And on the foreign scene, Queen Elizabeth II's grandchildren hold vigil around her coffin during her lying in Westminster Hall. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Hour. I am Medina Nadabu. A yet-to-be-identified Chinese man has allegedly stabbed his lover, a 23-year-old, to death at Jambulo Quarters, Kumbotso local government area of Kano. The incident reportedly happened around 10 p.m. on Friday after the suspect came to visit the deceased, identified as Ummul Kulsum Sani Buhari, at her parents' house, located adjacent National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRIA, in the area. While the reasons for what transpired between the duo that led to the unfortunate event remain sketchy, she was confirmed dead by a doctor after she was rushed to the hospital the same night. Abubakar Mustafa, a neighbor to the deceased, said the deceased, a divorcee, entered into a relationship with the Chinese national after her failed marriage. The police public relations officer in Kano, Abdullahi Haruna Kiawa, has confirmed the incident. Salim Umar gives an update on the incident.
The incident reportedly happened around 10 p.m. on Friday after the suspect came to see the deceased. According to her mom, he kept knocking on the gate of the house loudly for almost an hour before she went to open the gate, and that was the beginning of all that happened. The deceased was a divorcee, and the suspect happened to be her boyfriend since before her failed marriage. So after she got divorced, they went on with their friendship as boyfriend and girlfriend, and he often come to her house. What happened the Friday night was very unfortunate to say. When the mom came to open the door, he pushed her and went straight to the girl's room, that's his girlfriend, and met her where he started stabbing her. So the mom was helpless, the girl was helpless also, and it was raining then. His arrest was made possible by immigration officers and police officers. He's right in the custody of police right now, and we are waiting for the next step. We are also trying to get to the police to grant us approval if we can also interview him in person so we can hear from his side what even pushed him to commit the act.
Scores of armed bandits belonging to the notorious Bello Turji have been eliminated. The bandits were killed during a surprise raid by the air troops of Operation Forest Sanity in Zamfara State. The raid was carried out by 2 NAF fighter jets upon receiving credible intelligence. A defense intelligence source told newsmen that the NAF jets rained their missiles at Fakai area, believed to be the residence of the dreaded bandits leader Bello Turji, as part of the military counter-offensive operation currently going on in Shinkafi axis. The Commissioner of Police in Zamfara State, Kolo Yusuf, has reiterated the determination of the Zamfara State Police Command to keep on doing everything within the ambit of the law to end the lingering insecurity bedeviling the state. The Commissioner of Police gave the assurance through the Police Public Relations Officer, Mohammed Shehu, while parading 10 suspects arrested by the police tactical operatives during an intelligence-led operation conducted in some criminal hangouts in Gusau and Tsafe local government areas, respectively. The arrested suspects are members of notorious syndicate of informants who collaborate with bandits to terrorize peace-loving people of Gusau, Kauran Namoda, Tsafe, Bungudu local government areas and environs. The command also arrested a suspect, Zainu Lawal, who was caught in possession of arms, 4 rounds of cartridge, military camouflage uniform, fake military ID card, and other dangerous weapons. Also arrested are 2 notorious bandits informants, Al-Hassan Lawal and Umar Namaru, who supply motorcycles, foodstuff, negotiate and deliver ransom to the bandits in the forest. The police spokesperson said all suspects will be charged to court for prosecution upon completion of the investigation. Policemen in Katsina have killed 1 suspected armed robber, arrested 1 and recovered a Toyota Land Cruiser vehicle. The suspected robbers met their Waterloo during a stop-and-search operation by the police operatives at Koza village of Mayadua local government area of Katsina State. Koza village is on Daura Kwangalam Road, 5 kilometers away to Nigeria-Niger Republic border. Abdullahi Ahmadi completes the report.
With registration number ABC 165HP Abuja. Value of the vehicle is not yet known. Our detectives, operatives from anti-kidnapping unit, gave these hoodlum a hot pursuit.
The suspected robbers, sensing danger, engaged the police operatives in a gun battle, but the gallant police officers were lucky to overpower them, killing 1, apprehending another. The recovered Toyota Land Cruiser, currently in the custody of Katsina Police Command, was said to have been stolen from Abuja. The police said the suspected armed robbers used a sophisticated device which distorts any electronic devices from tracking the vehicle.
One robber is using this, the network of your handsets, the network of the vehicle, the tracker and whatever will not work. And if, for example, they are entering into your house to rob you, this is how they do it. You can see how they place it here. And when they entered, you cannot be able to make phone calls either to the police, to your neighbors, to whosoever, so that somebody will come and assist you. And
similarly, in the custody of Katsina Police Command is a suspected trafficker and drugs dealer, Abdurazak Ajibidi. The police said they have arrested the suspect with 180 carefully packaged parcels of dried leaves suspected to be cannabis sativa.
at where exactly were you arrested?
At Welcome to Katsina.
Welcome to Katsina. When you are about taking delivery?
When they were transloading to the other motor that is coming from my Niger side.
Okay. So where are they taking this quantity?
Where are they taking it to? They told me they were taking it to Niger side. I did not know.
To Niger.
Because I did not know.
How much? What is the value of these dry leaves? How much?
I did not know how much he bought it.
The police said that the expected destination of the intercepted parcels of the Indian hemp is somewhere in Niger Republic, hence re-echoing calls on the public to assist in fighting enemies of Nigeria until they are defeated.
Immediately our operatives went after him and some members of his syndicates. They succeeded in arresting him, while the other one, including the driver, one Shuaibu, escaped. Shuaibu is from Niger Republic, and according to him, he will interview him. He said they are going to take this quantum of weeds on transit to Niger Republic.
For the remaining two members of the syndicate now at large, the police give assurances that they will be arrested to face the music according to the laws of the land. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
At least one person has been confirmed dead following an early morning building collapse in Birniwa local government area of Jigawa State. The police public relations officer of Jigawa State Command, Lawan Shisu Adam, who confirmed the incident, said it occurred early Saturday morning at Brusali village in the Birniwa local government area of the state. The PPRO said the 6 other persons that were thought to have died were only unconscious and are now receiving treatment, along with 1 other person. In a related development, 10 persons have been rescued after a canoe capsized in Kafing-Hausa local government area of the state. Cases of boat mishaps have been reoccurring decimal in the state in the last weeks, with as many as 5 cases, which have left at least 19 people dead. A tanker loaded with premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, in the early hours of Saturday, exploded in Badegi town in Kacha local government of Niger State, injuring a roadside tea seller. Badegi town, which is one of the major towns along Lambata-Bida Road, also serves as a resting place for heavy-duty drivers plying the north from south. The road, which has been in a deplorable condition over the years, was made worse in the last few weeks by persistent rainfall, causing heavy traffic that stretched over 50 kilometers. The incident, it was gathered, was due to leakage from the vehicle. Northeast Governors Forum has called on the federal government to accelerate the execution of the Mambila hydroelectric project. In a communique issued at the end of the 7th meeting of the forum held on Friday, the Northeast governors decried the epileptic state of power supply in the region. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
The 7th meeting of the Northeast Governors Forum focused on development and security of the region. After hours of deliberation, the governors reached a consensus on factors affecting the development of the region. Governor Maimala Buni of Yobe State, who joined the meeting after the opening ceremony, read the communique.
The forum again expressed concern on the current state of power supply in the Northeast region, which at present receives less than 5% of national allocation of grid energy, while accounting for 14% of the population and 30% of land mass. While noting the direct acceleration between energy security and high level of poverty and our GDP status, it called on the federal government to introduce innovative strategies for investing in the production of comparatively cheaper hydropower and renewable energy. Related to this, the federal government is called upon to accelerate the execution of the Mambila hydroelectricity project.
The governors also expressed concern over the effect of flooding to the people of the region.
The forum expressed grave concern about the devastating effect of flooding, which is destroying homes and livelihood, including road infrastructures. The forum therefore calls on the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, direct its relevant agencies to immediately deploy all necessary interventions to ameliorate the situation in the affected areas.
In the area of business, the forum called for the revival of the Northeast Joint Trade Fair to boost commercial activities in the region.
The forum noted the need to harness the vast untapped resources of the sub-region by fostering integration in commerce as well as holding trade fairs with a view to attracting foreign investments. Forum therefore urged the Northeast Council of Chambers of Commerce to revive the Northeast Joint Trade Fair and commodity markets to stimulate economic activities.
The 8th meeting of the Northeast Governors Forum is scheduled to hold in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, on 25 November 2022. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Jos, the Plateau State capital, on Saturday witnessed a massive crowd along major roads in the city as supporters of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party held a 1 million man march to promote the Peter Obi Detti presidential bid. Participants in the march, according to our reporter, were not restricted to youths alone, as women and the elderly from across the state also joined the march, which caused heavy gridlock in most parts of the city. The report.
During the rally, major roundabouts were occupied by the supporters, while road users had a hard time maneuvering their way to their destinations. Specific junctions affected were the Hill Station Junction, Plateau Hospital Roundabout, Old Airport Junction, Zaramaganda Roundabout, among others. The crowd took off from different muster points, with the major one being that which began from the Ruang Palm Stadium to Secretariat Junction, where thousands of supporters waited for the rest of their colleagues.
We are tired of banditry. We are tired of people looting our money. We want to get Nigeria. We want to get Nigeria. We want to return Nigeria into That is what we want to do. We are tired of party. Now we are supporting a candidate.
Obi, that they are the man of the people, and they are the people that can change Nigeria. Obedient for life, no going back. Peter Obi for life. They are the only future we have. They are the only people that can change this country with their vision and with their movement. We are obedient for life.
Some party officials, as well as fiery cleric prophet Isaiah El Buba, participated in the march and commented on the event.
I am here to redeem the destiny of my children and our great-grandchildren. Nigeria, we have lost everything. Our children do not have a future. I am here to speak out, to show my solidarity for the redemption of Nigeria. The new Nigeria is born, and we believe in new Nigeria, and things will not continue the way it has been, and that is my stand.
The rally was hitch-free, as security personnel were on hand to maintain law and order.
A solidarity rally in support of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, went ahead after the organizers were tear-gassed in their first attempt to embark on the street procession in Abakaliki, the Ebonyi state capital. Leaders and members of the Labour Party in the state had gathered as early as 9 a.m. along Mile 50 within the metropolis to show support for the former Anambra State governor. The rally, scheduled to commence from the Pastoral Center along Mile 50 at 9 a.m. in the state capital, could not start as the police, who had stationed at the two entry points, disrupted the organizers with the use of tear gas canisters. Despite having a shaky start, the Peter Obi Solidarity train moved from the Pastoral Center along Mile 50 through Enugu-Abakaliki Expressway to the city center and back to the same venue where it all began. Meanwhile, Governor Dave Umahi has denied ordering the disruption of the Solidarity rally by Obi's supporters.
This is intimidation! This is intimidation! This is intimidation! The world is watching! The world is watching!
The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has expelled Dumebi Kachukwu, its presidential candidate, from the party over anti-party activities. The decision of the party to suspend Kachukwu and 7 other members was conveyed in a statement issued on Saturday by the national chairman of the party, Ralph Nwosu. The presidential candidate had supported the call for Nwosu to resign after holding office for 17 years. In the statement, the chairman said a 7-member disciplinary panel found Dumebi guilty of all the allegations leveled against him. Kachukwu was expelled along with 7 others, namely the Kogi State chairman of the party, Kingsley Oga, his state chairman for Edo, Kennedy Odion, Kabiru Hussaini, Alaka William, Bello Isiaka, Musa Hassan, and Clement Ehiato. Members of the Olu caucus in the Imo State House of Assembly has disowned the spokesperson of the Conference of United Political Parties, CUPP, Ikenga Imo Ugochinyere, over his allegation of inflation of voters' register, especially in Omuma, the home of the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodimma. The Inter-Party Caucus, which is the largest caucus comprising members from the 12 local government areas of Olu Zone, is also home to Idiato North, where the CUPP spokesman is from. Speaking at a press briefing in Owerri on Saturday, the chairman of the caucus and deputy speaker of Imo House of Assembly, China Nwanyanwu, said the caucus was dismayed by what it described as the baseless, spurious, and irresponsible allegation by Ogo Chinyere against the governor. The caucus also expressed dismay that only Imo was singled out in their investigation, whereas the report mentioned 22 states. In the text of the press briefing, the caucus said the allegation is that the voters list at Omuma has been inflated to give undue advantage to APC in next year's general elections. As the cost of living in the country continues to rise with each passing day, the senator representing Kogi West, Smart Adeyemi, says the National Assembly is taking deliberate steps to ameliorate the impact on the lives of Nigerians. To this end, he said the Assembly recently invited the Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, for a session on how to address the issue. Speaking to Trust TV, Adeyemi said the Senate will diligently go through the budget with a view to ensuring that issues of the economy are effectively addressed.
A lot of billions have been spent on, expended on poverty alleviation, palliatives, which to some of us, there's going to be a need for a review. That instead of giving people fish to eat, we better teach them how to fish. So some of us, we've already started discussion on it. I'm sure we're going to be discussing the economy. And don't forget, before we went on recess, there was a request by the Senate inviting the Governor of Central Bank to appear before us. All those issues are issues that will be geared towards how we can reposition the economy, how we can provide solutions to the poor exchange rate, and how we can open up the economy more for both local and foreign investors. These are needed if we really want to get people off the streets, and if we want to maintain, we want to see peace and stability to our country. We're going to definitely touch the budget to meet these shortcomings, because see, the executive, they do not see what we see, because the electorate, those who have elected us, the masses of this country, they don't have access to the executives. Who they have, the people they have access to are those who they have elected. So for us, when the money bill arrives, some of the things we're going to do is to look at those issues that affect the standard of living, the exchange rate, job creation, wealth creation. Those are the issues we're going to focus on. And that, again, when that is done, then you start hearing the executive shouting that the National Assembly, they have tampered with the budget, they have distorted the budget. The budget will be distorted as long as it doesn't meet the needs and the aspirations and challenges facing the economy and facing the Nigerian people.
You are watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Taraba residents decries poor maintenance of drainages. Stay with us.
Every patriotic Nigerian should hear this. Any politician who means well for the people will never allow themselves or their supporters to engage in any violent, destructive activities. No politician who truly wants to serve the people and develop the nation will encourage his followers to destroy properties or take human lives before, during, or after the elections. The Nigerian public must watch out for these traits and isolate any politician who encourages supporters to engage in violence. No genuine politician or patriot will cause trouble and seek to destroy the very society which they aspire to lead or develop. Politicians who have the good of the people at heart will not allow themselves or their followers to engage in violence, destruction of properties, and then taking of lives. Be vigilant. By their words you shall know them. Shun violence. Stay away from politicians who want you to do so. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NORA.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is News Hour on Trust TV. A recap of our top stories. Murder of Nigerian woman by her Chinese lover ignites anger in Kano. And military fighter jets bomb bandits camp in Zamfara. Military jets bomb bandits camp in Zamfara as police arrest informants. Moving to more stories, the federal government through the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency has appealed to authorities in various states to brace for more floods. Director General of the agency, Clement Nze, who gave the alert in a statement on Friday in Abuja, asked the states to take necessary measures to prevent the ugly flooding menace of the past years. Nigeria, according to him, is now in the peak of flooding season, and there's a need for the government, especially at the state and local government levels, to intensify and set up efforts to avert related disasters in their domains. The NISA chief asked authorities in the 13 states that fall on the main course of rivers Niger and Benue to put in place adequate measures and enhance preparedness to mitigate any eventual flooding and accompanying disasters. The affected states include Kebbi, Niger, Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, Edo, Delta, Anambra, Cross River, Rivers, and Bayelsa. Bauchi State Environmental Protection Agency has engaged youth in Bauchi on the importance of cleaning the environment as part of community services to mark the World Cleanup Day 2022. The activities marking the day held at the Nigeria Union of Journalists Secretariat Bauchi Council on Saturday with the evacuation exercise of refuse in some communities within the metropolis. Adamu Imam reports.
The annual commemorative activities of Clean Up Day started 3 years ago, with Bauchi being among the states that celebrate the day with a call on youth to embrace cleaning and evacuating waste in their various communities for a better and healthy society. Stakeholders at the exercise explained the concept and importance of collaboration in protecting the environment.
We have some ISO collection centers that are by the side of the road. So we consider them as the ones that require urgent attention. And that's why we are here today to clean up and to make sure that we help with the waste.
Provide a country, a state, a world where it's dirt-free, because it improves the livelihood of the people around it. We are all people of this earth. It is our home, it's our environment. We all have to come together to make sure that we see that we stop littering, polluting the land, to make sure that we have a good and safe environment for us and the generations after us, inshallah.
One of the residents close to Bakaro Primary School faulted the absence of some community leaders at the cleanup exercise, which he says is for the benefit of all. They called us yesterday. Even the district head told us after prayers to come out and join the evacuation exercise. But to my surprise, only 6 of us came out. The refuse is causing hazard here. This is rather unfortunate from our community leaders. Meanwhile, during the cleanup engagement at the NUJ Secretariat, some notable stakeholders commended the youths for the collaborative effort and urged them to do more. They, however, say the initiative for inclusiveness is an attempt to keep youth informed on how to keep the environment healthy at all times. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Some residents of Turaki A ward of Jalingo local government area of Taraba State have decried the poor maintenance of drainages and indiscriminate dumping of refuse on water channels by local marketers in the area. They are therefore calling on the government to come to their aid and help get rid of the refuse to avert an environmental health disaster. The report.
The residents, who lamented that some of the blocked drainages have led to floods and other environmental hazards, also appealed to local marketers to desist from dumping refuse and waste materials on water channels. One of the residents, who identified himself as Usman Abba, spoke with our correspondent in Hausa.
I and my team of other residents were assigned by the government to clear the drainages. My name is Usman Abba. My house is nearby. This flood was caused by the indiscriminate dumping of refuse by traders in the market nearby. The heap of refuse was dumped by the traders, and when the rain falls, it blocks the drainage, break it and push the water into the people's house. I saw when the water forced its way into our homes. This happening in the city were under the watch of the government, something the government could have stopped before it escalated. I wonder why the government failed to act. I was among the group of residents who reported the matter to the government, and no action was taken until this happened.
They are appealing to the government to provide waste bins around the area and also designate appropriate places where refuse and other waste materials could be properly dumped. A visit round the community to ascertain the nature of the drainages and the damage caused following their poor maintenance reveals that several houses were affected, while work is in progress on some of them.
I am a resident of this area. The indiscriminate dumping of refuse by the people in our drainages and waterways caused the flood. The bad environment practice is not good. We have made appeal to the government to take action, and they are working on it. The flood was caused by the heap of refuse dumped by traders in the market. The bad environmental practices by the traders have caused these damages to our houses.
When contacted, the caretaker chairman of Jalingo local government area, Dr. Aminu Jauro Hassan, stated that the situation was a source of concern to the leadership of the local government and assured the people that his administration will get rid of the menace in no distant time.
Allowing us as a council to take proper and formal decision on how to go about solving the problem. But I want to assure you, and I want to assure the good people of Jalingo local government, who serve as a seat of government of Taraba State, the assurances of our councils putting in measures to ensure that that menace is brought to the barest minimum.
Many in the area are hopeful that such assurances will translate to physical action to ensure the safety of lives and property in the area.
There's an uneasy calm among parents in Plateau State whose children would be resuming school next week. This is due to the rumored hike in school fees as a result of inflation that has affected the price of goods and services nationwide. Dixon Adams in this report takes a look at the situation that has left parents wondering how to meet up with the cost of schooling their kids in their present schools or to change to cheaper ones. His report is presented in our studios.
The Plateau State government recently disclosed that the official date for resumption of academic activities in the state for both public, private, primary and secondary schools is Monday, 19 September 2022. Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong, who ordered the reopening of the schools across the state, said all boarding school students are to resume on Sunday, 18 September 2022, a day to the Monday resumption. All zonal and area directors of schools were also directed to ensure strict compliance to the resumption date. The directive, which should ideally be a welcome development for parents to see their children return to school, is however making parents anxious as they try to meet up with the financial needs of their children. This is worsened by the fact that there are feelers from different quarters that school preparators are planning to increase their fees.
The rising cost of things in the markets, on the society, coupled to the resumption of school fees.
We have about 10 days, 11 days before the school resumes. And some of us who are parents are wondering what will happen, especially with the information we are getting that proprietors are getting ready to increase school fees because of a high cost of this, high cost of that.
Meanwhile, schools have started making preparations for resumption, beginning with teachers' pre-resumption workshop. One of such took place at Ido Kia School in Jos. The workshop focused on pre-term plan, lectures, presentations, among others.
We have consideration for parents because we also go to the same market with them. We buy things together. We also pass through all the challenges. We consider such kind of things, and as a school, we maintain a low increase of school fees.
My advice to parents this morning is that things are very hard, not just school fees. Other things, when you go to market, you see a lot of issues going on. I advise parents that they should take things easy, cut it according to your size.
Stakeholders in the education sector said if nothing is done to address the inflation, the number of out-of-school children will further increase.
Pensioners in Osun State who could not get their pay after retirement have called on the state government to fast-track the payment process because many of them are sick and need money for treatment. Mostly affected are those that retired after the introduction of contributory pension scheme, as majority of those that retired earlier said they get their retirement benefits and are receiving their monthly pension regularly. Hamid Oyegbade files the report as presented in our studio.
Retired workers of Osun State government have held series of protests in Osogbo, the state capital, to demand payment of their gratuity and pension. According to the pensioners, the problem started after the introduction of contributory pension scheme, which forced many workers to leave the service. Some of the affected retirees who spoke behind camera lamented that they were denied their benefits after serving the state for years. Some said they are sick and in pitiable condition, as well as unable to feed and buy drugs. A retiree, Remi Adeagbo Alabelewe, appealed to the state government to fast-track the process so that the money can be paid to the pensioners.
Currently, the situation with the contributory pensioners in Osun State, without minding the years they have entered the palaver, is worrisome, is dastardly, and people are dying every day. People are on the sick bed. We want to urge the governor, Alhaji Gboyega Oyetola, to please assist and fast track the payment of the contributory pensioners' entitlement vis-a-vis the 29 and a half months salary.
Other pensioners, Richard Akintade and Laila Oyi, who retired before contributory pension scheme was introduced in the state, said they received their gratuity and they are getting their monthly pension.
Pensions and gratuity were adequately and instantly paid. Maximum of 3 months, you get everything. But by the time I retired, it was getting a little bit not as easy as it was. But fortunately, I was able to collect my own gratuity and got myself enrolled for monthly pension with some ease. But that has not been the luck of those who retired after, especially those who retired after 2012.
I retired from the Osun State Civil Service in 1997 from the Osun State Ministry of Information. And since that time, I've collected my gratuity. And since then, I've been collecting my monthly pensions till date. But it's like things have changed now. Because some workers that retired, currently, they don't get their money on time.
Contributory pension was introduced by the Obasanjo administration to address myriads of problems associated with pension administration in the country.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. We will be back after this timeout.
Trust TV.
documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. In business news, the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, says the average retail price paid by consumers of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, for August 2022 was 189.46 naira. According to the NBS Petrol Price Watch for August 2022, released in Abuja on Friday, the increase indicates a 14.89% increase when compared to the value recorded in August 2021 at 164 naira 91 kobo. The report said on a state profile analysis, Kaduna State had the highest average retail price for petrol with 210 naira 94 kobo, while Ogun had the lowest average retail price for petrol with 177 naira 88 kobo. The NBS also revealed in its Diesel Price Watch report for August 2022 that the average retail price paid for diesel by consumers was 786 naira 88 kobo per litre. Let's join Chamun Debeng for more business news.
The Kano State Agro-Pastoral Development Project, KSADP, announced the awarding of contracts for projects worth a combined 6.036 billion naira on Friday. The projects involve building 40 milk collection centers at various places throughout the state's 15 local government units and developing 1,006 hectares of irrigation structures at the Watari irrigation system in Bagwai. The 40 milk collection centers will be built for a total of 1.496 billion naira, while the Watari infrastructural projects would cost 4.539 billion naira as part of a wide strategy to improve agricultural production, guarantee food and nutrition security, and improve income generation for smallholder farmers and herdsmen. The Islamic Development Bank and the Lives and Livelihoods Fund, LLF, will fund the interventions. The projects, which were given to 8 distinct local contractors, will get underway in September 2022 and be finished in September to December 2023. With a growth rate of 10.67% year over year, cashew nuts and shell surpassed sesame seeds and cocoa beans to become the most traded agricultural commodity in the second quarter of 2022, as opposed to the 37.29 billion naira recorded in the second quarter of 2021. The product traded for 41.27 billion naira in the second quarter of 2022. Cashew nuts and shell accounted for 29.11% of all agricultural products sent during the quarter. According to data from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, with a 0.56% share of all exports for the second quarter of 2022, cashew nuts and shell were Nigeria's fourth highest export, from 12.4 billion naira recorded by NBS in the first quarter of 2022. The export value of cashew nuts and shell increased by 232% on a quarterly basis. However, from 165.46 billion naira in the second quarter of 2021 to 141.77 billion naira in the second quarter of 2022. Agriculture exports fell 14.32%. In the last quarter, cashew nuts worth 22.21 billion naira and 18.49 billion naira respectively were sold to Vietnam and India. Nigeria presently produces between 220,000 and 240,000 tons of cashews in the shell, less than its fellow African nations like Cote d'Ivoire and Guinea-Bissau. This is according to the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC. A dividend policy has been made public by the Nigerian Exchange Group PLC to guarantee shareholders receive adequate returns on their investments. The policy document, which was authorized by the board of directors of the group and posted on the company website, was created in line with the Nigerian law, corporate governance regulations, and investment and tax laws, according to a statement from NGX. The paper states that NGX Group intends to ensure shareholders' rights through its dividend policy, particularly as it relates to the determination and payment of dividends. The policy statement also said that the NGX Group will implement the policy annually to create transparent and methodical dividend consideration and pays. This was in relation to the administration of dividends by the corporation. That's all for Business News. I am Chamun Dabeng.
President Muhammadu Buhari and his wife, Aisha, will depart Abuja on Sunday, September 18, for New York to attend the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, made this known in a statement on Saturday. This year's UNGA, with the theme, A Watershed Moment, Transformative Solutions to Interlocking Challenges, will feature discussions on the Russia-Ukraine war, energy crisis, climate action, ending the COVID-19 pandemic, and a special Transforming Education Summit. Buhari will take his turn to deliver the national statement on the second day of the general debates on Wednesday, September 21. On the entourage of the president, who is expected back in the country on September 26, are some governors, ministers, and top government officials. We now take a short break.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels. Leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news, or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back to News Hour. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's son will be representing Nigeria at a number of events on Sunday and on Monday during the state funeral for the late Queen Elizabeth II in the United Kingdom. Osinbajo departed Abuja on Saturday and will join members of the royal family, world leaders, including members of the Commonwealth, heads of state, governors general, prime ministers, and foreign royal families at the ceremonies, including the funeral service scheduled to hold at Westminster Abbey on Monday. A statement from the Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Media and Publicity, Laolu Akande, says ahead of the service, the Vice President will be among guests and dignitaries to be received by King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla at a reception in Buckingham Palace on Sunday. Earlier on Sunday, the Vice President will hold a bilateral meeting with the UK Foreign Secretary, James Cleverly. The Vice President will return to Nigeria after Monday's state funeral. On the foreign scene, the Queen's 8 grandchildren have held a vigil around her coffin during her lying in state in Westminster Hall. The Prince of Wales led his brother, the Duke of Sussex, his cousins Zara Tindall and Peter Phillips, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, and Lady Louise Windsor and Viscount Severn into Westminster Hall. William was followed in by Harry with the Duke of York's daughters, the Earl of Wessex children, and the Princess Royal's children behind them. The grandchildren all slowly walked towards their late grandmother's coffin to begin the vigil. Both Prince William and Harry wore their military after King Charles III granted Harry to do so. Kazakhstan's president has signed a law limiting presidential terms and reverting to the old name of the Central Asian country's capital in the latest step of breaking with the legacy of his predecessor. President Kasim Jomart Tokayev signed a bill on Saturday extending presidential mandates to a 7-year term from the current 5 and barring any president from running for a second term in office. The Kazakh parliament unanimously supported the amendments in 2 readings on Friday. The bill, which also reinstated the capital's name to Astana, is effective immediately, according to a decree on the presidential website. The name was changed to Nurul Sultan in March 2019 in honor of outgoing President Nur Sultan Nazarbayev. And finally, in sports, Manchester City midfielder Calvin Phillips will miss England's Nations League games with Italy and Germany due to a shoulder problem. Phillips was not in City's squad for Saturday's 3-0 victory at Wolves, despite a late substitute appearance against Borussia Dortmund on Wednesday. It is understood City are deciding whether to send Phillips for shoulder surgery, which could put the 26-year-old's World Cup place at risk. Phillips has yet to start for City since his £45 million summer move from Leeds, having made only 3 appearances, all from the bench, totaling 14 minutes. He was one of the players mentioned by England coach Gareth Southgate when he defended his latest squad selection on Thursday. Before we go, here is a kicker. Graduates Adnesu Mapisa and Emmanuel Marume saw that farming was taking off and they didn't want to pursue regular employment. So they bootstrapped a drone business and are now providing both commercial and smallholder farmers with services that save them money. Take a look.
Want to become a hub of all agricultural solutions, starting from the production side, the field, the distribution of food until we reach the market. So we want to cut across all the value chain of agriculture by bringing in technology.
We've been in it for about 3 years now. What we've noticed is that we've managed to assist farmers to apply chemicals in a more efficient manner and a safer manner as well. I believe this is where the world is going. Technology is there to assist us, in our farming operations.
I've heard about Takudzwa grown by one of the farmers on our group. I contacted Takudzwa probably 2 months ago, just when we started planting. If this works out halfway, not even.
And that's it on News Hour tonight. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. I am Medina Nadabu, thanking you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.